You've felt it. That thing where you meet someone and within about 90 seconds, something just clicks. You can't explain it, you can't manufacture it, and you definitely can't force it with someone who looks perfect on paper. We call it chemistry, and we throw the word around like it's magic, some mystical spark that either exists or doesn't. But here's the thing that's going to ruin the magic a little and replace it with something honestly cooler. Chemistry is real, like literally measurably real. And a huge part of it comes down to your nose running a secret genetic background check on the person standing in front of you. So why do you click with some people and feel absolutely nothing with others who should be perfect? Why can two gorgeous, kind, compatible people meet and just fizzle? The answer is a wild mix of your immune system, your brainwaves, a shaky bridge, and a couple of things you'd never guess. Let's get into it. Let's start with the strangest one, because it's the one nobody believes until they hear the study. A big chunk of what you call chemistry is happening in your nose, and it's about your immune system. Buried in your DNA is a cluster of genes called the MHC, the major histocompatibility complex. Its job is running your immune system, helping your body recognize invaders. And here's the kicker. The more different two people's MHC genes are, the stronger and more disease-resistant their kids would theoretically be. So evolution, being the relentless matchmaker it is, wired us to literally smell this, to be drawn to people whose immune systems are different from our own. I know that sounds made up, so let me give you the evidence. In 1995, a biologist named Klaus Wedekind ran what is now famously known as the sweaty t-shirt study. He had a group of men wear the same t-shirt for 2 nights straight. No cologne, no soap, just raw human funk. Then he had women smell the shirts and rate them. And the women consistently preferred the smell of the men whose MHC genes were the most different from their own. They had no idea that's what they were doing. They were just sniffing shirts and going, that one. But their noses were quietly reading immune system data and picking the genetic opposite. When you say someone just smells right to you, that's not a figure of speech. Your body might genuinely be detecting a good genetic match. And when someone smells subtly wrong despite perfect hygiene, same system, opposite answer. That's chemistry, and it's happening below the level of anything you can consciously control. Now here's a genuinely unsettling twist on that. Some studies found that women on hormonal birth control flip their preference. They start preferring men with similar MHC genes instead of different ones. The leading idea is that the pill mimics pregnancy, and a pregnant body wants kin nearby, not mates. Which raises a slightly mind-bending question some researchers have asked. What happens to that scent-based chemistry if someone meets their partner on the pill and later comes off it? The science here is still debated, so nobody's panicking, but it tells you how deep and how chemical this spark really runs. Okay, but scent isn't the whole story, because chemistry isn't only about who someone is, it's about when and where you meet them. And this is where it gets almost funny, because one of the biggest ingredients in attraction is just being nearby. Psychologists call it the proximity effect, and the closely related mere exposure effect, and they're embarrassingly simple. We tend to like people more just because we're around them a lot. The coworker at the next desk, the person at your gym you keep running into. Familiarity, it turns out, breeds attraction far more than the movies admit. This is why so many couples meet at work or school or through the same friend group, and far fewer fall in love with a stranger across a crowded room. Your brain quietly logs, "I've seen this person many times and nothing bad happened," and files them under safe, and safe slides into appealing. Romantic? Not exactly. But it explains an enormous amount of who you've actually fallen for. And then there's my favorite study in all of attraction science, because it's a little bit ridiculous. In 1974, 2 psychologists named Dutton and Aaron set up shop at 2 bridges in Canada. One was a low, sturdy, boring bridge. The other was a high, narrow, terrifying suspension bridge that swayed in the wind over a deep gorge. As single men crossed each bridge, an attractive female researcher stopped them, asked them a few questions, and gave them her number in case they had follow-up questions. Here's what happened. The men who crossed the scary bridge were far more likely to call her afterward. Way more than the men from the safe bridge. Why? Because crossing a terrifying bridge makes your heart pound, your palms sweat, your body flood with adrenaline. And the men's brains, feeling all that arousal, looked around for an explanation, and landed on the attractive woman instead of the bridge. They literally mislabeled "I am scared" as "I am into her." Scientists call it the misattribution of arousal, and it's wild because it means your body can feel a spark and then guess at what caused it, and guess wrong. It's why a thrilling first date, A roller coaster, a scary movie, a bit of danger can spark attraction that a quiet coffee never would. Your racing heart doesn't always know why it's racing. It just knows the gorgeous person is right there. So far, this all sounds like chemistry is just chemicals and tricks. But here's the part that brings the magic back. Because when two people genuinely click, scientists can now actually see it. Using EEG and other tools, researchers have found that two people who feel a strong connection start to physically sync up. Their brainwaves begin to fall into rhythm. Their heart rates can start to match during conversation. Their bodies coordinate the release of bonding hormones like oxytocin when they're close. Two separate nervous systems quietly tuning to each other like two instruments finding the same note. Chemistry isn't just a poetic word we invented to describe a feeling, it's a measurable, physical event happening between two bodies in real time. So step back and look at what the spark actually is. It's your nose reading someone's immune genes to find a healthy match. It's the comfort of having seen a face enough times to trust it. It's your racing heart in an exciting moment, pointing at whoever happens to be standing there. And it's two nervous systems against all odds slipping into the same rhythm. None of that is random, and none of it is fully in your control, which is exactly why you can't force it with the perfect person and can't talk yourself out of it with the wrong one. But here's the part I love. Knowing all of this doesn't make chemistry less magical. If anything, it makes it more, because the next time you feel that inexplicable pull towards someone, you're not just feeling a vibe. You're feeling millions of years of evolution, your immune system, your memory, your heartbeat, and your actual brainwaves all quietly agreeing on the same person at the same moment. That's not nothing. That's your entire biology, ancient and modern, leaning toward another human being and whispering, "This one." You don't get to choose when it happens. But when it does, it means more than you think. It always did. If you want to understand what happens after the spark, how love actually switches on and locks in, the video on screen breaks it down. Go watch it. I'll see you there.